one of only a handful of Roanoke College lacrosse players to be named first-team All-American twice in his career, Chris Davin was a standout defender and four-year starter for the Maroons.
I think there's a couple things that helped me excel at lacrosse. One being uncompromising. As I learned in high school, my coach always said, you got to beat that beast, the beast in your head. You can't compromise. Your brain's always telling you, hey, I just ran up the field, I'm tired, I'll get the next ground ball, or I'll slide next play. As far as other things, visualization, I'd always be the first one ready in the locker room. I'd sit there and go through my head, basic defense, positions, footwork, anything that would, help me prepare myself, for that game.
It's pretty hard to be an All-American once, and then it's even harder to be a first-team All-American once. And then Chris Davin was a first-team All-American twice, and that doesn't happen every day, and that just shows how great of a player he was.
Chris has been described as one of the most feared defenders in the country in 1996 and 1997, leading Roanoke to a top 5 ranking in Division III in both his junior and senior campaigns.
I remember playing against Salisbury in the NCAA quarterfinals, and they had a great player named Jason Kaufman, who was the all-time leading scorer in Division III history. And going into the game, we had Lawrence, who's obviously a Hall of Famer, first-team All-American defense, and we had Chris Davin, who's now a Hall of Famer and a first-team All-American defense. And we said, let's put Lawrence on Kaufman, because Kaufman's so strong and you can't take the ball away from him. We need to stop him. And we put Lawrence on him in our wise coaching move, and Kaufman blows right past Lawrence first minute of the game. So we said, well, we've got to try Davin on him. This kid's going to kill us. And we put Davin on him, and Davin proceeded to not only stop the leading scorer of all time in Division III, but also just dominate.
He would neutralize any player he played against. He would take away whatever hand they had. He would make them a non-threat, from a first-team All-American all the way down to anybody.
A second-team All-ODAC in 1995 and a first-teamer in 1996 and 1997, Chris led his team to 3 straight ODAC titles and 2 straight NCAA appearances, one in 1996 and again in '97. Chris was only the second defensive player to be named ODAC Player of the Year.
I would sit at home and practice throwing checks and while watching TV and visualize, hey, I'm going to throw a fake here and then put the stick here, and I know his stick's going to be there. And so knowing what's going to happen when I do something to a player, knowing that his stick's going to be there, it just gave me that edge to be able to take that ball.
He just had a great array of checks, and he was always very careful with it. He had an over-the-head check. He had a ding-dong check, which was fantastic, where he put the ball down on guys, and just very quick in his back check, where the guy thought he had him beat, and then all of a sudden he's checking on his back. That's how he would whirly-bird guys' sticks, and he's one of the best back checkers we've ever had.
After finishing his career at Roanoke College, Davin became a commissioned officer in the Marine Corps in 2000. Chris got his wings 3 years later, serving as a C-130 pilot, flying missions over the Philippines, Thailand, and South Korea. Davin also served as a forward air controller after being deployed to Iraq on 2 occasions. His responsibility on the most recent mission was to lead a small autonomous team from the ground in controlling and communicating with Marine, Navy, and Air Force aircraft.
The expectation is to execute the ground commander's intent. We got to win the hearts and minds of the Iraqi people, but also protect them from the enemy, and also protect the soldiers that are that we're working with. So you got to know your job and train to your job, so that when you get out there and you face the real thing and you're under the pressure, it's almost second nature. Kill the enemy if need be, or get the reconnaissance that's required for another mission to be executed. So you need to be able to make an educated decision that's going to turn out to be the right decision every time, and bring everyone home safely.
Chris has joined the legacy of other military aviators to give back, serving as a flight instructor for the United States military.
Without Roanoke College, I wouldn't be here today in the military. The lacrosse program gave me the leadership, the conflict resolution between teammates, the ability to work with team members, And the education, without that, you know, I wouldn't even been able to become a commissioned officer. And the education itself was, you know, excellent, so that helped me excel and be one of the, you know, best Marine Corps officers that I could be.
Chris Davin is so deserving of being inducted into the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame for many reasons. Not only for what he did on the field, but the way he carried himself off the field as an ambassador to the college, an ambassador to lacrosse.
Chris Davin, Roanoke College salutes you, a 2010 inductee into the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame.
He wanted to do his job to help the rest of the team succeed. And now he's doing that in his own personal life. He could have chose many endeavors to enter into. He chose the military, and obviously it's some of our best men that are doing that, and he is definitely one of those. He's one of the guys we look up to. He's one of the guys we tell our boys now to be like, Chris Davin.